Welcome to Costa del Sol today, your news bulletin to know exactly what's going on the ground. What's the next headline?
Negotiating direct flights between Malaga and Atlanta.
That's massive.
I know. The Guinness World Record with 2,100 pizzas. What does that even mean?
Over 1 million passengers. Malaga is not the Malaga of 10 years ago.
The reopening of...
Oh my God, the only thing that's like looming in the background of this conversation is like infrastructure. That's gonna be like, that's gonna keep on hitting headlines. Like, can the infrastructure cope? How the coast grows and the infrastructure remains sort of untouched. So, are you guys ready? Let's go. Matt.
Yeah.
I've been looking forward to this.
Yeah, same, me too.
Let's start with section 1, travel and air connectivity. What's the big headline?
All right, the biggest headline right now is Tourism Costa del Sol negotiating direct flights between Malaga and Atlanta, home of Coca-Cola.
That's massive.
I know.
So I mean, Malaga is connected to some of the biggest, I think it's connected to New York in summer, right?
That's right, exactly.
We connect through Madrid to the US mostly, but it's going to be great, like direct to Atlanta, to the heart of the US.
Yeah, it's interesting and there's no surprise considering the number of American buyers that are starting to come into the Costa del Sol market.
Yep.
But it's interesting when more direct routes to Malaga start to take shape in the United States. And I wonder if this is the beginning of more and more. I mean, I wonder what 2026 is going to have to hold. But it is it's very exciting. I'm sure for those of you that have already bought here, that live in the United States, that are watching this channel, will be very excited about this news. Or those of you that have been interested in buying. I mean, that's a big deal. I mean, direct flights. Who wants to take a flight with a layover? Nobody does. Like it's what you look for the least. It's sort of the last tick box when you're looking up flights. And I think it's a real game changer.
So the Europa Press, published in Espanol that the regional tourism body Turismo Costa del Sol is in negotiation with Delta Airlines. That's the airline to basically establish a non-stop route between Malaga, AGP Airport, and Atlanta. Yeah. It says here that the route is part of a wider push to access the US market and potentially Latin America as a Miami hub via direct flights.
That makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Like it'd be sort of a trampoline, no? Like people would actually the flights from if you're trying to get to Malaga from Latin America, you have to go from Madrid. It's going to be a perfect sort of bypass as well. Yeah. It's not only opening to the US, it's also opening to all of Latin America.
That's a good point. Yeah, really good point. And so I think this is a testament that kind of the North Americans and Latin Americans, for that matter, buying property on the Costa del Sol. I think we're just seeing it's just the beginning.
100%. Yeah. Man, like we could do a whole Costa Insight on Americans buying in Costa del Sol.
Yeah, we could and should probably.
Let's move on to our next headline, Matt. What's next?
Let's go. Yeah. So next up, we're going to be covering infrastructure and transport, and specifically the Gran Parque de Mijas. Mm-hmm. The new green lung of the Costa del Sol is nearing completion.
That's been going on for a while. Like they announced that a few years ago. Yeah. And that's basically above El Chaparral, above Aerial Hipódromo.
Is it Serra del Águila in that area? That area.
Right? That area.
It's a massive footprint. Have you seen it? Have you driven by there?
Yeah.
It's impressive.
So it's 270 to 350,000 square meters of green space, amenities, lakes, skate park, bike paths. Right. Yeah. It's actually quite incredible. As of August 2025, the municipality confirmed reception of the works, which means that we're nearly, gonna be able to go and enjoy it.
Yeah, I think it was planned to open earlier this year. Obviously, there must have been some delays, but I've driven past it and it's beautiful. It's you already touched on. I mean, as people that watch this channel may already know, I'm always looking for kind of the next playground for my kids. And this one is a big one. It's not just a playground for kids, it's a playground for everyone. There's paddle courts, there's I think there's even a track that you can run around the circumference of it. And no, that's a very, very exciting kind of new launch that's up and coming.
You want to know a fun fact about Gran Parque de Mijas?
I do.
So the Mijas Town Hall did a sort of competition, right, among all the schools of Mijas in primary, and they actually gave the chore to the kids of different sort of classrooms to design a section of the park with like crayons and stuff.
I love that.
Yeah. And the winning classroom is the one that, it's actually been the way they've designed it. So there's one portion of the park which has been designed by kids of primary in the Mijas schools.
That is
How cool is that?
Yeah, that is very cool. That's pretty special.
I'm looking forward to see what it is. Yeah.
Okay, next we're going to jump right into property and real estate trends, one of our favorite topics, obviously. Estepona emerging as Europe's new residential hub.
Matt, what's the next headline?
Property and real estate.
Let's go.
a somewhat familiar topic, one might say. And the headline, Estepona emerging as Europe's new residential hub.
That's like hardly surprising.
No, yeah, especially with the amount of activity that we've seen and the amount of sales that we've closed in Estepona in the last couple of years. It doesn't surprise me at all.
So before we talk about it, I just want to, we did a really, really fun interview last week, right, with the mayor of Estepona himself, and
cool.
kind of tied into the growth of Estepona and how he's taken,
impressive man.
Well, unbelievable.
What an impressive individual.
Like this headline, like after meeting the man behind the biggest political change in Estepona, like it's not surprising. This guy's incredible. So actually, we'll link the video of the interview of the Estepona mayor here, so you guys can check it out. Following on this headline, reports show notable annual price increases, which what we've already seen, right? Plus 16% year on year in some new build segments. And why does it matter? Well, it matters for buyers, investors, people that are sort of looking to relocate here. There's still a lot more growth in Estepona.
Totally.
Stats show, and figures have shown that, right? Like, what's your take on it?
Yeah, I think it's a message to those that have already bought. Congratulations, because you've probably had a pretty good return on your investment. And those that are thinking about buying, don't wait. Because I don't think we're going to see a slowdown in what's happening in Estepona.
No, at all.
In fact, what you're seeing more and more is you're seeing kind of the real estate sort of spreading out more, a little bit further out onto the fringes into Casares and Manilva. I think we're just seeing the beginning of the rise of Estepona.
100%. Estepona is now it's competing with Marbella head to head, where prices are slowly going towards the Marbella sort of market. It's still got still got space to grow, but it's quite incredible, no?
Yeah, I think Marbella is kind of out of reach for many people, but Estepona is still within reach, but kind of like only just. So yeah, if you're planning on making a move, do it quickly.
The Estepona mayor, during the interview, I asked him, so do you consider yourself as a city that competes with Marbella? And his answer was so political. He perfect political answer. He went like, no, we don't compete. We're growing together in this Costa del Sol. And it was a super interview. So just once again,
very diplomatic.
If you haven't seen the interview, please go and check it out. It's super. What's next, Matt?
Events. Lifestyle highlights.
Yeah, so we have to choose, but for you guys to know, we have to choose like the main headlines. So we don't have time to talk about everything. We want to talk about the most interesting ones to you guys. And this was a really fun one. You go.
Yeah, so Fuengirola is going to attempt the Guinness World Record with 2,100 pizzas. What does that even mean? That means, are they just gonna you're gonna bake 2,100 pizzas?
Pretty much.
2,100. So this last record, 1,000.
2050, whatever it is.
2099?
Whatever it is. This is basically from the Euro Weekly News, right? In Fuengirola, a master pizza maker, Antonio Pucci, plans to cook 2,100 pizzas in a single session to set a Guinness World Record as a charity event for child cancer volunteers. Now, how sweet.
That's nice, yeah.
What's incredible about this is obviously, the end goal is to benefit this association, which is amazing. But also, it's nice that everyone's gonna come together.
Totally.
So all this food, are you gonna be going?
I live in Fuengirola. I can't miss it.
Yeah. So there's gonna be like all this like sort of nice social event around it, and I think there's something like 300 pizza makers or something like that. Something incredible. So I wonder how many ovens. It's gonna be really interesting to see.
And that's happening on December 17th, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Before my birthday, by the way.
Oh, there you go.
I just put that out there.
What a perfect.
I know. I got everybody's attention right now. So, but not to take away from the event, it sounds super fun, and I love it when things like this are happening because it's just kind of something out of the ordinary. And
100%.
Who doesn't like a good world record being broken?
Yeah,
and for a good cause.
And for a good cause, yeah. And we're going to keep on sort of, during these Costa del Sol todays, we're going to keep on adding fun events so you guys actually know where to go or what to do. There's so many cool things that happen sort of on a month-to-month basis. So really good to share it with you guys.
Oh, the other one that's happening in December, actually, in fact, just a couple of days before, is the Malaga Marathon.
Oh yeah, that's another very important one.
I think there's a record number of people that have signed up to run it. I think it's 20,000. So it's a real.
You're going to be running it.
I'm going to be running it. Hopefully your foot's better, so you can run it. And my daughter. So I just ran a different race this weekend, and so she was very inspired, and so she asked me, "Oh, is there a kind of a kids activity?" So I looked it up, and the day before, so I think it's on the 13th of December. The marathon's on the 14th of December. On the 13th, there's a kids event. I'm gonna have to figure out exactly what the distance is, but I imagine it's like 1 kilometer or 2 kilometers for the families to bring their kids so that they can run, get a medal and stuff. So that's a really the Malaga is gonna be totally shut down on the 13th and the 14th for the Malaga Marathon. So if you're around, you should go check that out too.
Amazing. Another event that's happening very soon, and I want to put this on the radar now for people to prep, is the Malaga lights. So
the Christmas lights.
The Christmas lights. We're starting to see, the lights of Costa del Sol starting to be installed. For example, where I live in Elviria, the Christmas lights starting to be placed. And we'll have to put in the description of this video. There's a day and a time where they light up the Malaga Calle Larios, and that's really an upcoming event. So you guys do 100% need to check that out.
And it's a thing in Spain. I mean, just in case you're not familiar, if you've never been here, or if you've come, but you've never, every town has its own light shows, so they sometimes months. In fact, I saw Fuengirola start to install them already in October, I think. So you can't really tell that they're there until they light them up, or unless you're seeing them installed and you know what's going on. But every town's a little bit different, but the ones in Malaga are particularly spectacular.
We have a hard time filming content outside the office because the Christmas lights are everywhere. It becomes really hard to film content, which is the evergreen.
Last year.
Yeah. Next headline, Matt. Events.
Yeah, next event actually it just happened. It's the annual developer fair called CIMED. It happens every November. Yeah. It's where the coming together of everybody in the new construction industry, the biggest developers, and
the big boys. The big boys. You get the big developers coming to town. AEDAS. Everyone sets up shop.
Exactly.
The Malaga Town Hall was also present, and they announced the liberalization or opening of different lands, which they're going to make available for VPOs, for let's say social rents and social housing, which is going to be amazing.
What does VPO stand for?
VPO stands for Vivienda Protección Oficial. So they're going to be built, let's say, for the young Malaga families, and also they've been talking about
affordable housing. Affordable
housing. They've also talked about helping some developers develop some projects in the east part of Malaga. So there's a lot of things going on.
That's big news, huh?
Yeah, big news.
Freeing up of land here is a big deal because it happens so seldom, right? That's it's so needed.
The mayor of Malaga is Francisco Torres, Paco Torres, they call him, and he's also contributed massively to really recently with Neynor and Nuovit. They've also liberalized or helped, not liberalized, but they've helped the paperwork in order to allow and grant the license to the building of 1,200 properties going to be built next to Teatinos. So this mayor is really on the ball when it comes to housing. Really, really on the ball. Malaga is going through a massive transformation. We've talked about it, on the channel plenty of times. But not only urbanistically, but everything culturally. Malaga is just changing. Malaga is not the Malaga of 10 years ago.
Paco Torres, you said, right?
Paco Torres, yeah.
Senor Torres, we would love to have you on the channel.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, official invitation extended.
Kim, what else is going on? What else could our viewers be interested in knowing?
All right, some other big headlines is the Malaga Airport has hit a record in October with over 1 million passengers.
That's an awful lot of people.
That's an awful lot of people. And, that just sort of shows, the growth of Malaga, but also we've talked about the channel. Malaga Airport is also going to be expanding.
It's going to have to.
We covered that. So from 25 million passengers a year, it's expected to increase to 36 by 2030 something. We did a whole video on it with Kim, which we'll link here. But that's super news, right?
In fact, every month, from what I've been reading in the headlines, every month beats the previous month.
Absolutely.
And it's just kind of record after record after record. So it's really prospering.
One of the items, one of the discussions we had with the Estepona mayor last week was, and it was quite interesting, is with the growth of Malaga as a tourist destination, also a residential destination, I asked him about, Airbnb restrictions, if you plan to limit Airbnb in Estepona, and he said, if we started restricting Airbnb, where is everyone going to stay? It's so true. The old Airbnbs also contribute to all these people which are constantly coming to Costa del Sol. Anyway, just an interesting little fact.
That's a very important point. I mean, we've covered kind of the challenges on infrastructure on Costa del Sol, that being one of them.
Totally.
About there's so much happening in the growth. It's just they're gonna. I mean, cutting out Airbnbs doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
No, 100% no. Well, I mean, it's a very highly political subject. Let's move on to next up. Sorry.
I was just going to say there's another headline that has me personally very excited.
Which
is the reopening of Tivoli.
Oh,
Tivoli World, the amusement park.
Oh my God, Tivoli.
I grew up. I didn't grow up here. I grew up vacationing here.
Yeah.
And two of the highlights every single summer, one aqua park, and the other one was going to Tivoli. It's been a family tradition for as long as I knew. And I remember when we moved here and I went to kind of look it up to plan a trip with my kids and everything. It was closed. I couldn't believe it. And I guess COVID must have gotten the best of Tivoli World.
Tivoli, I remember the Tivoli amusement park when I was a little boy, and it was just so magical. And I actually can't wait. I think it's 2028, which is what they've got the green light. That's what.
So it's a go ahead.
It's a go ahead.
The completion of it not due to be for another couple of years, but.
That's a great resort sort of amenity for the coast. That's amazing.
Can you imagine? I mean, Costa del Sol needs an amusement park. You got a couple of smaller ones, they're called Should Park, Sold Park, whatever. I don't know how you pronounce it.
They're not. You can't.
They're for smaller kids, and kids like to go there. But no, like a proper amusement park. It's it'd be really nice to have it back.
And it adds on to the quality of Costa del Sol. It's another reason, another thing to do. Another quality attraction, right? Talking about things that have been closed for a very long time and reopening. A Marbella symbol is Hotel Incosol. Do you know about the Hotel Incosol?
No.
Okay, Hotel Incosol, like if you drive past Rio Real, it's a massive tower. It's been closed for years. I mean, years ago, it was a super popular hotel. And this business has bought it, and they're going to turn it into a luxury wellness retreat sort of, center. Malaga's given it the green light. And this is massive news. Like being from Marbella, the Hotel Incosol is like a landmark. And now this landmark, which has been derelict and abandoned, the same as Tivoli for many years, is now going to be turned into, a new wellness destination.
What made the hotel popular in the first place? Do you know?
I mean, it was popular back in the 90s and 80s. I'm not sure, but it was one of those hotels that everyone knew about, Hotel Incosol.
Okay. Right. And you said it has a very sort of physical presence.
Yeah. You see it from miles away. Yeah, as well. Because on the coastline, we don't have many towers, right? Like actually one of the good things about Costa del Sol, depending where you are, in Torremolinos you do, but let's say from Marbella, East Marbella, all the way to Estepona, there's very little towers outside suburban areas or inside suburban areas.
True, yeah.
You've got Incosol, you've got Marbella del Este, and Incosol was one of those towers that sort of you see the skyline of the beach, right? It's going to be very interesting to have that open. A headline which I'm really excited about, Matt. You want to go?
The rumored new flight connection between Korea and Malaga.
So it's not a flight connection yet, but it's in a pilot stage. So they're going to do a few runs, as I understand it, to understand the demand. How much interest would exist for this flight path.
Yeah.
And I'm really interested to see what the result is, because we are generally open, Malaga is open to Northern Europe, America, South America, Middle East, we have a lot of clients from Saudi, a lot of people that come and visit, tourism from all over the world. But Asia, that part of the world, is a place which is sort of, not very, it's not a popular, Malaga, Marbella, Costa del Sol is not really popular to the Asian audience, or public. So it'll be really interesting to see if that really works. Because if it works, and we have a direct connection, pathway from Malaga to Asia, how amazing would that be?
Yeah, no, it would be great. The one thing that I can say, growing up, is that I know that that Malaga is a very popular port for cruise ships.
Yeah.
And I know that among kind of the Asian tourists, Mijas Pueblo, which is where I grew up holidaying, is a very popular place for kind of a sort of destination as when the cruise ships come off and they go up there. But yeah, very interesting to see how that works out, and if that's yet another new kind of connection hub between Malaga and kind of all these different places that we talked about, including Atlanta, Korea potentially. Fantastic. Nothing but good things for the Costa del Sol, actually.
So the only thing that's looming in the background of this conversation is infrastructure. We keep on talking about growth, right? This Costa del Sol is growing so much, and will the infrastructure go? Actually, there's a video that was coming out this week, I believe, on infrastructure in Costa del Sol where we discuss it. But that's going to be that's going to keep on hitting headlines. Like, can the infrastructure cope? How the coast grows and the infrastructure remains sort of untouched. So. It's going to be interesting to...
What is reassuring, though, is knowing that there are mayors like the one in Estepona, who you just met. You said you've already referenced the mayor in Malaga. You said it's a very good one. He's doing incredible things. I mean, surely, this is going to be on everybody's minds, and I'm sure that there are works in progress or discussions being had in the background. If there are so many kind of smart brains collectively, surely they must be working on solutions.
So that's it, Matt. That was our first Costa del Sol today.
Yeah, it was fun covering some of the main headlines, and this was the first of many of these episodes. As we talked about, we're going to put these out once a month.
Yeah. For now. Let's see how it goes.
And what we would love to hear in the comment section below, if you enjoyed the topics that we covered, if you felt like there was anything that we missed, if you feel like the frequency of having these come out once a month is enough, or if you like them on a more regular basis, just comment in the section below. Let us know what you think, honest thoughts, and we will come back and we'll try to deliver on those requests.
That sounds like a perfect wrap up.
Perfect.
All right, guys. Hasta luego.
Hasta luego.